Hi, welcome to the Poleshift News, the home of the Maverickstar Observatory. Guys, a little later on in this video we're going to be looking at some new data that's just come in from Perth, Australia. One of our global magnetometers that are, closely zooming in on those high intensity regions around the world where the magnetic intensity is at its highest, and what we're hoping to do with that is track that intensity as it moves ever closer towards the equatorial region. We've also got, thanks to Jeff over there in Perth, brought us to the attention of an article which is based on some research that has recently been done, and there's a paper been now written coming from a Japanese university, also involving close relationships with other universities and scientific bodies with regards to a link to cosmic radiation and the last glacial period. Yeah, guys, so we're going to get into that a little bit later on. Also, we've managed to find on this recent activity some CJM49 chips, which I've ordered one just for now, just to make sure that when we get it from the shop on Amazon, that it is an actual CJM49 and not another one, because they advertise some of these chips, and then when you actually get them, what they say in the listing is that if we can't get that one, we'll give you the best alternative. So for just now I've ordered one. If that's successful and it is original CJM49 chip, which is a magnetometer chip, which is what our program supports, then I'll order the other 5 that the chap's got on there, and that'll that'll make it possible for us to build a few more magnetometers, and we can then send them out to those low intensity regions around the South Atlantic anomaly, or that weakest part of the magnetic field on our Earth. And also, for the first time, I'm going to let you guys into a little bit of a closed secret. That it's a bit of a project that's been going on for a couple of years now, and I've been involved in that, and I'm going to release just a little teaser of what we've been up to regarding that project, and you may get to hear a little bit more about it after I've spoken to a few of the people that are involved in that as well, and just make sure it's okay to just divulge what we've got with regards to that. So before we get into that, guys, as you know, we are a crowd-based funded observatory, and we run the website. It's not just covering the the main topic on this website and channel and our main work at the observatory, which covers the magnetic reversal. We also cover a lot of other things, and like I say, it's crowd-funded only. But we really need to do a little bit better than what we're doing. Just recently on the last video we had 3,000 people view it yesterday, and we managed to raise on PayPal £7. And we can't really run an observatory on those daily amounts of money. Especially where we're taking this now, we're going a lot further than what we ever have done. We've got magnetometers all around the world, and obviously it's requiring a lot more of my time. It's not just collecting and processing the data, it's actually maintaining these things. They're getting sent backwards and forwards, so we really need to, guys, boost up the amounts of monies that we're raising here, because I can do miracles with little amounts of money, but I can't do a lot with £7 a day for, that's been raised on the observatory. So if we can get a few more people to come on board and just support us a little bit longer, then I'm sure at some point we're going to be able to carry our own weight. But we're not there yet, guys. That's the thing, we're not there. We're getting closer. Like I say, if you was following me last month, you'd realise that we had a bit of a bad month, and the last thing I want to see is that repeat this month. So a bit later on I'll mention the link. If you want to help support what we do on this observatory, then you can. So before we get on to it, guys, a big thanks to those people that do support us regularly on this channel. Massive thanks. I always want to let you guys know that supporting it, that I do appreciate it, and I'm sure that there's a lot of others that do. So let's get into what we've got then. Let's start with looking at some of the data that we've received from Perth, Australia. So here's the data, recently come from Perth. It's now been processed and it's on the website if you want to have a little look at it. It was taken, the data, over a period of the 15th of the 6th 2019 to the 6th of the 7th 2019, and huge big thanks to Jeff for taking his time to set up one of these stations where we place one of our magnetometers. And what we're looking at is the Antarctic poles that are creeping up towards the equatorial region of the planet. Now, if you look at the data, you could say that it's too good to be true, and when things are too good to be true, there's usually a reason for it. And what we're looking at pretty much is a flat line, and I've got a good idea as to why this is. I'm going to be giving Jeff a call a bit later on. I've had this exact same thing happen once with the Trimag, one of the magnetometers attached to the Trimag, and I think it's an easy fix, but what I have done is I've looked at the data, and although I don't show the times and the dates on these charts because there'd just be too much information on there and you wouldn't see anything because it would just be overlaying each other. I mean, at the end of the day, you can see there's 1,076 individual readings over the last month. So what I've done here is I've put the data that we've got. I know that there has been 1,076 separate data intervals in the data that's been collected over the month, but there's obviously something not right there, because you just don't get a flat-lined effect like this. If I show you what we should be looking at on one of these, if we just go to Kentucky and then go down, what you can see is that chattering of peaks and troughs going along as the data is being collected, and then even if it goes up a little bit, you still see that tremming of data fluctuating as it goes up. So we know that when we see data like this, that it's actually actual data, but when it's flat-lined, something else is going on. And like I say, I'm pretty sure it's an easy fix. If we just go to Perth, Australia, take a look at that data again, we can see it's flatlined. So I'm going to have a little word with Jeff over there in Perth and see if we can iron out this. It's just, again, another little kink in the road, guys. I do know that the magnetometer has been collecting good data from when we started, so this is just a little bump in the road that can easily be ironed out, and we can then get this fixed and get more data coming in. So what's the bombshell then, guys? That's what you must be wondering. What is the bombshell then that has been now dropped in this scientific report? Let's take a look. So what is this bombshell then, guys? Okay, so we've had this Japanese university recently release this scientific report supporting pretty much what we've been talking about for a few years now on this channel. If you've been following me, you know that I've been saying that no, this is more like a glaciation that we're going to be returning to as a result of the geomagnetic reversal, not an ice age. And the difference is glaciations last for thousands of years. Not pole shifts, but ice ages can last, between 50 and 60 years. I've stood out and I've said it's a glaciation. We're overdue a glaciation. We've found that recently that there was a excursion around 12,000 years ago, and at that point we was in a glaciation. Well, this report that's come out from this Japanese university supports that. It also talks about cosmic radiation being part of the course that links to these Asian winter monsoons becoming more during the last glaciation period on this planet. So I'll put a link in the comment section, not in the description box, so that you can have a read of this. But guys, just supporting and rebutting those things that I've been talking about. I don't just make these wild assumptions. It is based on logic, and I've said all along that it could be more likely a glaciation that we're going into, and now all of a sudden we're getting this supported by these universities now that are looking into cosmic radiations and the link to cosmic radiations and the climate on the planet. And this is something that we talk about all the time on this channel, so well worth a little look there, guys. I'll put the link there for you to have a read. So guys, as a little bit of a teaser, I don't want to give away just too much information on something that I've been involved with sort of like in the distance on this project for over a few years, and it's now coming to the point where it's getting close to be put on the market. You could describe it as artificial intelligence. It's a device, and you know, when we was talking about, you know, building the TriMag system with this other entity, which, you know, you guys might get to meet at some point, you know, we was also talking about other ideas, and there was a bit of a development going on, or it started around about 2 years. Anyhow, it's been in the process of being improved over those years. So what is it? Okay, so I know it's a bit difficult because I've got to be careful about how much I talk about this, because it still hasn't hit the market yet, and I don't want to give away, you know, too much about it, but I also want to, you know, just give you guys a little bit of information on it, because I think it's absolutely amazing. That I've recently now been asked to get a little bit more involved in it and take a part in helping bring this to the market. So it could be along the lines, I suppose, as an artificial intelligence device that informs you of pretty much everything. I mean, we included a lot of stuff into this, so it covers all the anomalies really that we talk about on our channel. It includes the magnetic poles, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, weather warnings, barometric pressure, temperature, you name it, it covers absolutely everything. But it is also, like I say, along the lines of artificial intelligence. You can call up a report on all these things at any given point in time. It knows exactly where you are because it carries GPS, and it tells you how close you are to these things that are actually taking place at the time when they are taking place. It's also supported by a website where all the information is being transferred to, so if you want to look at more in-depth information, you can do. It's also a tactical device, and there are a multitude of attachments that go with this. Like, you know, we do end up in a bug out situation where, you know, we're worried about who's coming close to our proximity. This device, with the aid of a couple of other things that you can easily put out in the vicinity of about 1 kilometre, will tell you whether the outer perimeter has been breached and which node within that perimeter it has been breached by. So you will not only know, you know, that somebody is coming close to you within 1 kilometre, or you can have it set with even a shorter distance of even 100 meters, but you can, I know it goes up to 1 kilometer, so you can set a perimeter around yourself of 1 kilometer and you will be notified of anyone breaching that perimeter. And it, like I say, has a lot of other helpful things. Now, if you're in the proximity of an earthquake, it will tell you your location and distance to that earthquake. It will tell you when that earthquake happened, and you can have as many of these updates come back to this system as you want, or as lease. It's entirely up to you. There's so many functions on this device. Like I say, it's coming close to being released onto the market, and I've been asked to have a little bit more involvement in this, in helping it bring it onto the market. There isn't anything like it, I can tell you that now, and I know the level of programming that's gone into this. There are thousands and thousands of lines of code that's gone into it. It took literally years to write the program that supports the device. The device fits in your hand. It can also be a desktop unit as well. It's got multiple functionalities. It's got like the facility to be charged by solar panels. It's got the facility to supply actual power to charge up some of the devices that you've got. It also can be set up so that you can have your perimeter where you are. You can be in that perimeter or outside that perimeter. It doesn't matter whether you're in or outside the perimeter. It can also communicate with ham radio for you. so you can set a channel on which this device will then get in touch with you via the ham radio. So you can put your designated channel number on there and it will communicate with the ham radio. It will also send you texts to your phone or even call your phone, and then you can read the reports back from wherever you are in the world, and you could be on the other side of the world, and this device will communicate with you and just let you know how things are going within your perimeter of where your base is. So it's got a lot of technical, tactical abilities, as well as functional advice that it can keep streaming to you with regards to all the anomalies that are taking place around the world. It's pretty much endless as to what this can be applied for. So, you know, with regards to smartphone technology, it's very close to that as well. Like I say, you know, we're in the talks. We're going to be in more of the talks over the next few weeks, and you know, you might even get to meet the the people behind this project as well. But for now, I'm just saying that they've asked me to have a more proactive role in this device in bringing it to the market, and I can see it being very, very popular because, you know, in the times that we're in right now, I can't think of anything more supportive that anyone would want than to have one of these devices for themselves, because of the applications that it actually serves in the times that we've got right now. So, you know, guys, just stay tuned for that. That's coming out soon. So there's a little bit of a teaser for you. It also, right, has this little sexy voice that talks to you, you know, so it's like I say, it's artificial intelligence. You know, the applications that it can do is just massive. So, you know, if it comes to it, guys, in the next few weeks, you're probably even going to get to see the actual prototype in you know, its earliest form working. But I do know that the circuit boards have been made. There's some adjustments to be made on those circuit boards to bring it up to, you know, the final prototype, the working prototype, which can then be manufactured. And you know, you might get a fly on the wall look at how things progress with that. So as to how long it could be put on, you know, it is from now to being put on the market, it might be 6 or 7 months away, but you know, you get to see it pretty much in the early forms. I mean, this thing's got a touch screen, some great graphics supporting it on the screen. You know, it's all the latest technology that's gone into this, so you get to see that as well. Like I say, guys, there isn't anything else in the world like it at the moment. I know there's some good tactical devices, but on the scale of cramming technology and lots of applications into this, there isn't anything quite close to it. So I'm not sure how much the retail price will be of this at the moment, so I'm not even going to hesitate a guess at that. But I'm pretty sure it isn't going to be probably as dear as one of your new smartphones is. But it does pretty much more than that. So there you go, guys. You know, like I say, you know, we're an observatory, and you know, we need to raise money. And you know, yesterday 3,000 people viewed the video that we done. We've had in total yesterday, I know 10,000 people viewed all of my videos, over 10,000 people, and you know, we managed to raise £7, which isn't a lot of money. Things need to improve on that. And I know we've got 24,000 subscribers almost now. I think a little bit more could be done to support what we do here. You know, we're going to the extremes of, you know, putting magnetometers all around the world. We've got a great observatory that, you know, is dedicated to the magnetic North Pole, and you know, it is one of the most rarest anomalies that is taking place in our time right now, and it's just a shame that there's a lack of information with regards to anything magnetic reversal. So you know, at least on this channel you get to see what's going on globally, and in a few months we're going to be compiling the data that we've collected and just making some analysis as to, you know, what is going on with the main regions of our planet with regards to the high intensities there. And you know, that can only be beneficial to you guys, because you know now, hopefully, that this is definitely dramatically changing the climate on our planet, and as a result, affecting not just the climate, the weather, the seasons, but also the food production globally. And you know, we all eat food at the end of the day, and you know, it's not just the fact that the food prices are going up in value and having a more dent on our pockets, but it's also the fact that some things throughout this part in our lives are not even ending up on the shelves, and that can only get worse as we go closer and deeper into this magnetic pole reversal. So there's more than enough good reasons to support what we do. Remember, these mainstream organisations are very reluctant to release information until it's already public knowledge, and we've come out twice now before some of the biggest organisations in this world, such as NASA, and beat them to the table in delivering the information first to the public by at least 2 months. That's not a small amount of time, that's a large amount of time. So you guys, you know, the link's down there. You can support us on Patreon, and you can also support us on PayPal. But you know, more importantly, you know, try and support us, because what we're doing is, at the end of the day, trying to inform you guys. So I'll leave it there, guys. I'll say what I usually do. Have a great week. There's some data to come from, hopefully, JD in Southern California. Let's see if we can link that up or have a look at it as far as these recent earthquakes that have been taking place over there. Let's see if we've got some information on our magnetometer data that is linking it to the seismic activity that's recently happened over there in Southern California. So guys, I'll say what I usually do. Have a great week. Links are down there if you want to support us, and as always, bye for now.